Okay, so this is going to be the first video I'm going to do of some stable management horse tips. The other day I was talking to somebody and they said, why don't you do some videos offering some tips around horses and things you've learned, and I thought, why not? So I'm going to start with some stable management things. I mean, I spend most of my days riding and training horses now, but I've done it all. I've groomed, I've mucked stalls, I've trained, I've coached, and I think it's important that people know all aspects of horse care and equipment care and all that, and not just riding. So I thought I'd start with one thing that I get asked a lot about in the dressage world is people like their Blingy Browbands, and I get asked a lot about how do we keep these clean, because obviously when you use them, they get sweat on them and they get saddle soap on them and they get dirty. And so, yeah, that's where we're going to start. And before I get started, I'm going to offer my own little disclaimer here that I definitely, I know this is the horse world and everybody likes to do things their way, and everyone is convinced that their way is the right way. And I don't profess that my way is the right way, it's just my way. So if it's helpful to you and you learn from it and you want to use my tips, that's great. If you have a better way, good for you. Yeah, so anyway, so this is the brow band we're going to start with today. It's very nice, but it's seen use, and it's a little bit kind of faded. It's not as shiny as it once was. So what you're going to need, I like to have 2 toothbrushes. You can get these 99 cents at the dollar store. Good investment. You're going to need a glass of hot water. Well, not hot, but warm. If you're smarter than me, you can do it over the sink, and that would be easier than having to cart around a glass of water, obviously. Then some dish soap. It doesn't really matter. This is going to be the green apple palm olive today, I guess, that we're going to use, but it doesn't matter. Just something that's going to cut the grease and the dirt. And then some vinegar to finish things off. Also a cloth, preferably one that won't snag too easily, because some of these, this one's not too bad, but some of these clasps on these brow bands can be a little bit, have a tendency to snag. And then some leather care for the end. That's kind of a different topic, but anyways, we'll cover a little bit here. So you want to start, take your brow band. I'm just going to do one side. I'm going to spare you guys actually watching me do an entire brow band because that's boring. Take your brush, and you're going to get your brush wet. And I'm sorry if this isn't the greatest camera angle, but I'm operating off a cell phone here. I'm not really technologically inclined. So then, just like brushing your teeth, you're going to put your soap on there. Make sure you have a towel on your table, because if you're like me, you spill stuff and it gets dirty. But we're horse people, we're used to that. So then you want to kind of carefully scrub the soap into your brow band. Get it in there nice and good. Make sure that it's clean. Try and cover all the angles. And once you've done that, and you're satisfied, you can do it longer than me, but I'm trying to do a video that's not going to bore the hell out of people. Then you're going to take a bit more water, kind of rinse it out, get the soap out of there, get the suds out of there. Again, if you do this over a sink, it's going to be smarter than doing it on the table with a glass, but for the sake of not having running water in the background, that's how we're going to do it. And you can kind of dry it off with your towel. Make sure that you kind of get all the suds out of there, because obviously if the suds dry on there, then it's not going to help your cause too much, because you're just going to have dried soap, which is going to be scummy as well. So you want to make sure that that's in there, it's all clean, everything is good. And it's dried, and that looks pretty good to me. So then you're going to take your second toothbrush, and you're going to take your vinegar, stick your toothbrush in the bottle if you want, or pour it into a cup, whatever. If you do stick it in the bottle, keep in mind that this toothbrush is now gone in here and it's going to go in a bottle, so your vinegar is no longer good for human consumption. It is now for brow band cleaning only. A little bit of vinegar on there. You may still get a little bit of residue left over from the soap. That's okay. So again, a little bit more vinegar. Polish it in there. Good. And then I rinse that out with the water. Go back to the water. A little bit more water on there. We rinse it out again. And then we go back and we get the towel again and we wipe her off. Do a good thorough job. And now you can see that, well, maybe you can, I don't know how good the lighting is in here, I'm not a professional at this stuff, but it's definitely much shinier than when I started, and it looks much more like it did when I bought it. So then what I would normally do the full brow band. As I said, I'm not going to waste you guys' time because doing 1/3 of it is the same as doing the whole thing. But when you're done, assuming that your leather has already been cleaned and conditioned before, and should be in good shape. So if it's clean, it's dry, then I usually just apply a little bit of leather conditioner to the back of it, because sometimes that water and soap that gets in there, it's going to dry that out, and you don't want that on your horse's forehead. That's not nice for anybody. So, and for that I use, I always like the Belvoir Leather Balsam. I think that's a good product myself. All right, so that's it for the brow band cleaning. I hope that that was helpful to some people out there. If it's not, my apologies, I failed you. But hey, if 1 or 2 people enjoyed that and learned something, great. All right, thanks for watching.